Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Being Well, a program that strives to create consciousness and awareness in the world and aims to make a positive and meaningful contribution to humanity. I am Anjali and I'll be your host. In today's episode, we take you through the different segments of health. Firstly, we have Dr. Joseph Mercola, who's going to talk more about statin drugs. Then Alia from Cooking with Alia is going to show us how to make some chocolate fickas. After that, we have Leslie with us with her 30 minutes yoga flow. And lastly, we have Dr. Julio, who's going to tell us more about vitamin D and the importance of it. So let's start our show. In our first segment, we have natural health physician Dr. Joseph Mercola, who's going to talk more about the dangers and the side effects of taking statin drugs. Take a look.
This is Dr. Mercola, and I'd like to talk to you today about cholesterol. Why? Because there's so much confusion about this issue, and I'd like to really provide you with some solid information that you can review and examine and carefully evaluate and make the decision whether or not it makes sense to you. Now, when I first started practicing after my family practiced residency in 1985, and I started screening for this, and I told people that they had elevated cholesterols, I was a new kid on the block. They took their lab test back to their old doctor and they said, oh, no, you didn't have high cholesterol. That was because the reference ranges in 1985 for cholesterol were over 330, 360. So if you had a cholesterol of 310, you had normal cholesterol. And no one thought otherwise, or very few people did. But my focus and passion was preventive medicine, even back then. And so I was using total cholesterol as a risk factor. And of course, you know, my views have changed since then. But I just want to mention that story to you, that things have changed. And why did they change? Well, they changed because later on, the drug companies actually developed the technology to make a drug called statin drugs. And these statin drugs very effectively reduce your total cholesterol level by impairing an enzyme in your liver, because your liver is what makes cholesterol. They impair this enzyme, so your total cholesterol levels reduce. And as a result of that, they've got a solution. They've got a way that they can sell you something that will work until you're dead for decades to lower your cholesterol, and it doesn't solve the problem, yet it generates tens of billions of dollars of revenue for them. So that's why there's been this tremendous push to identify cholesterol and to treat it. So, you know, and they treat it to ridiculously low levels, because ideally your cholesterol should not be 150. I believe it should be about 200 or so. And when you have a cholesterol of 150, it's too low, because cholesterol is an important element of your cell membranes and is a precursor for your steroids. You need cholesterol. So you don't want to lower too low or you're going to have problems. So it should be about 200. Now, there are ways to lower it, and I'll talk about risk factors that, other than total cholesterol, as I mentioned, that are even more powerful to predict whether or not you're going to have heart disease. And let me tell you what those are. It's your HDL to total cholesterol ratio. Both of these blood tests I'm going to describe about are fasting tests, which means they're fasting for 8 hours or more, just nothing to drink but water or drugs or supplements, and you take that and you get the results. Now, the HDL to total cholesterol ratio should be above 25%. In other words, a quarter of your good cholesterol should be good, or higher. I mean, I've seen people as high as 50%. Half of their total cholesterol is good, and that's even better. That's associated with hyperlongevity syndrome. The other thing you can do is your triglyceride to HDL ratio, and that should be below 2. So if these numbers are distorted, you're at pretty high risk for heart disease. Not only heart disease, but cancer, arthritis, diabetes, you know, all these other conditions that result from the primary cause of why your cholesterol is going to be elevated to begin with. You know, I've treated tens of thousands of patients, probably somewhere between 20 and 30,000 patients. And in my entire practice, I've only put 5 people on statin drugs once they understood this. 5 people. And that was because these people had what I believe is the only condition that warrants the use of these drugs, which is familial. It's a genetic condition called familial hypercholesterolemia. It's about 1 in 10,000 people have this, and usually the fasting cholesterol levels are way over 330. So, and it's almost impossible to control with diet and exercise. So that is my strategy and recommend. So ideally, what happens to the other 999 or 9,999 people with high cholesterol that have it? Well, those people, it's usually a result of elevated insulin levels or a decrease in your insulin receptor sensitivity. And these are both related to 2 primary things. One is the foods that you're eating and your exercise program. So that will dramatically affect your insulin receptors and your insulin, subsequently your insulin levels. Because when your insulin levels are high, your cholesterol level goes up. So you want to normalize your insulin levels. Now your fasting insulin levels, another good test, it should be about 2 or even up to 3. So that's where you want, that's what your goal and your target is. So these are the strategies, and these are the ways that you can do it. And ideally, if you have some other elements that you can use is nutritional typing. We've recently adopted this test and offer it now for free, and that's a system that has helped you design what food you're identify what food you're designed to eat. You could be high fat, high protein, low carbs, and this diet may actually radically lower someone's cholesterol, but that same diet, given to a person who's a carb type, designed to eat high carbs, low fat, low protein, will raise their cholesterol. So you really need to eat the foods that's designed for you, and this test will help you identify it. And again, it's free, and there's a link for that on this page. The other thing you want to do is to make sure that you're taking omega-3 fats, animal-based fats, like DHA and EPA. And traditionally, I'd use fish oil, but I've since learned and actually reviewed some interesting studies, which are unpublished at this point, so I can't show you a link to them, that show that at 500 milligrams, krill oil will actually raise HDL levels and lower triglycerides and total cholesterol far more effectively than fish oil, which is absorbed at a much lower rate. You know, because the fish oil has the DHA and EPA in triglyceride form, and your body has to digest it, break it down, reassimilate it into the phosphatidylcholine form, which is already the form it's in krill, to get the same thing. So ultimately, you're getting like 15 times more effective milligram per milligram of DHA and EPA in krill than you do for fish. That's why you can see these dramatic benefits. Powerful, powerful strategy, and I definitely would incorporate it. But then again, the exercise. We developed a program called Peak Fitness, and I'll put a link to that on this program so you can do it. It's a comprehensive program. We have stretching, flexibility, strength training, sprint cardio, or Peak 8, where there's this high intensity exercise where you're pushing towards maximum heart rate and then recovery, and repeating this about 8 times. Powerful way to increase growth hormone, improve your stamina in general, and decrease your risk for heart disease overall. So these are powerful strategies that you can use that really address the foundational reasons as to what's causing it. You know, why do you want to rely on drug companies for an expensive solution that's potentially toxic? So if you or if your family or anyone you know is on a statin drug, it's really important to understand that that statin drug will non-specifically not only lower your body's ability to manufacture cholesterol, but it will also lower its ability to make coenzyme Q10. And CoQ10 is really a crucial enzyme that your body needs for the production of energy and a variety of other functions. And if it's lowered artificially by taking a drug, you will clearly accelerate your death rate. So if anyone is taking this, it's important to be on coenzyme Q10, or even better, something called ubiquinol, which is the reduced version of CoQ10. And I've written and done a video about that before, but essentially, if you're over 20 or 30 years old, your body's ability to make this reduced version decreases. So if you're younger, you don't need to take that. Coenzyme Q10 is more than sufficient, and it's relatively inexpensive, and that's the one to take. But if you're older, definitely encourage the ubiquinol, because you know this is really crucial information. It can really save someone's life and a lot of grief. So hopefully this information has been helpful. There's a lot of confusion about cholesterol, and hopefully I've cleared up some of it. Definitely read the other articles that we have here linked, because there's further information and details that I didn't have time to go into in this video. But it's hopefully information like this that will give you and your family the practical tools that you will need, the information to discern and break through the hype of the drug companies, to understand what it takes to properly take control of your health.
Welcome back. Holidays are right around the corner, and when we think about holidays, out comes the thought of having chocolate treats. And for this, today we have with us Alia from Cooking with Alia, who's going to show us how to make some delicious chocolate fickas. Have a look at this.
Hi, this is Alia and welcome back to Cooking with Alia, the show that brings you the flavors of Morocco. The holiday season is here, and with the holidays comes a lot of baking. Many people like to prepare cookies and cakes and chocolate truffles and all these delicious things to share with friends and family, and also to celebrate the holidays. But I also know that many viewers don't like to bake. So what I'm going to do is share with you delicious, simple recipes of cookies and stuff that do not require baking. I've already showed you how to make the Nutella chocolate truffles. If you have not seen the video, make sure to watch that video because it's super easy and those truffles are hit every time I take them to a party. And today, I'm going to show you how to make another cookie, just simple stuff. You just need cookies and dried fruits and caramel and chocolate, and that thing is super, super awesome. You're going to love this recipe. Just to give you a background of this recipe, in Morocco there is a new trend. Every time I go to Morocco I see these new things coming up of cookies that are not traditional but have a traditional shape. So you'll find these new modern cookies with different ingredients but are shaped like our Moroccan traditional cookies. So this cookie is shaped like fakkas. Fakkas is a Moroccan cookie that is basically like a biscotti, and it has like a rectangular shape like a biscotti, but it's thin. So we're going to make this shape like fakkas cookie, but it's not with the ingredients of fakkas. So we're going to call it fakkas with dried fruits and chocolate. And you can call it whatever you want because I have no idea how they call these cookies, but they're delicious. So that's it. One more thing. If you like my recipes and you don't want to miss any of my upcoming videos, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. All you have to do is click the subscribe button, which is usually above the video, and that's it. Okay, so let's start. The main ingredient in this recipe is cookies. So here I'm using graham crackers. If you don't have graham crackers, use any kind of dry butter cookies. There's so many in the supermarket, just choose your favorite. Of course, choose cookies with no cream, no chocolate on them, like just simple butter cookies. That's it, and all we have to do now is mix them in the food processor to get cookie powder. The second ingredient you need is candied fruits. Candied fruits are those like dried, caramelized fruits that are green and red, usually, sometimes they're yellow, and they're usually used in fruit cake. I don't like candied fruits, so what I'm using here is dried fruits, mango and blueberries and cranberries, and I like them. They're better quality and they taste better to me. So if you like to use what I'm using, feel free to do it. However, if you like to do the original recipe, you could use the candied fruits, which are green and red. The other ingredient we're going to use is chopped walnuts. Again, you can replace the chopped walnuts with almonds. Make sure that they're roasted almonds or roasted peanuts or whatever dried fruits you like. I'm going to use the chopped walnuts. So all we have to do here is mix the cookies with the chopped walnuts and the dried fruits. And I just want to make sure they're mixed up. Now our secret ingredient is dulce de leche. Dulce de leche is basically caramelized sweetened condensed milk. It tastes like caramel and it has an amazing texture. If you don't have dulce de leche or you can't find it, what people do usually, I don't do it because I can find dulce de leche easily, is take sweetened condensed milk, put it in a pressure cooker filled with water and cook it for 2 hours. So you just have a pressure cooker, you put water on it, you put your can of sweetened condensed milk, close the pressure cooker and cook the condensed milk for 2 hours, and you will end up with a caramelized condensed milk, which is dulce de leche. Add the dulce de leche to our mixture. Look at this yumminess. So now all we have to do is mix it. Our mixture now is ready. See, I mixed so well the ingredients that they're all well incorporated, so that's an important step. And that's it. It's easy. What I'm going to do now is basically shape the cookie mixture into rods. Just model it like that. The way I'm shaping this cookie mixture is actually the same way we shape fakas before baking it and then cutting it into biscotti shapes. So that's where the modern traditional touch gets together. It's kind of cool, right? So I got one here. And that's it. All we have to do now is put the cookie mixture in the fridge for at least 4 hours. The thing is, I cheat and put it in the freezer because it cools down much faster and I don't have 4 hours to waste. So I'll put it in the freezer for around 30 minutes and then we're going to cover it with melted chocolate. After 30 minutes, our cookie mixture is ready. So now we can add the melted chocolate on top. I'm using dark chocolate, but feel free to use any chocolate of your choice. You can use white chocolate, milk chocolate, whatever you like. So I'm just going to put dark chocolate on top. I just melted it in the microwave, and that's it. So now that I got all the sides here covered with chocolate, I'm going to put them back in the freezer so that the chocolate hardened, and then I'm going to flip them to do the bottom of the cookies that did not get covered with chocolate. Then again, we put it in the freezer, and then when they're all covered with chocolate and the chocolate is hardened, we're going to cut it in a fakas shape. Now that the cookie mixture is completely covered with chocolate and that the chocolate is hardened, we're going to cut the cookies. And we're going to cut them like we would cut a fakas, which is the Moroccan biscotti. We're going to cut it on the side and a little bit inclined. So you need a good knife here. And now my favorite part, I'm going to taste the cookies for you. Look at these beautiful cookies. Nobody would ever believe that these are no-bake cookies. They're so good. They're chewy. You get the taste of the caramel, the chocolate. You get the crunchiness of the walnuts, and then you get the sweetness of the dried fruits. This is so good. You guys have to try it. You saw it. It's so super easy. The ingredients are very convenient. You can find them anywhere. And then you don't even have to bake these cookies. So send me pictures when you make them. See you next time. Bon appétit.
Welcome back. In our next segment, Leslie is going to take us through the purest path of yoga. Today, she's going to show us how to do her 30 minutes yoga flow. Take a look.
Hello, it's Leslie Fightmaster, and welcome to day 17. This one we're going to get hip. We're going to move into our hips a little bit. And I just wanted to say thank you to Chef V, and I'll tell you more about her later. But let's bring the hands together in front of the heart. Set your intention for your practice today. Inhale, reach your arms up tall, spin your triceps forward, and then exhale, right hand to left knee, left hand behind. Inhale, lengthen, lengthen, and then exhale, roll the left shoulder open. Looking over the left shoulder. Inhale, arms reaching up, and exhale, right hand behind, left hand to right knee, and twist. So when you're twisting, it's always lengthen the spine first as you inhale. As you exhale, maybe go a little deeper into the twist, unless you're already at your edge. Come back to center, inhale to lengthen, and exhale, folding forward. So with the shins crossed and folding forward, you're giving your hips a nice little stretch. And coming up, switch the cross of your legs. Inhale, circle the arms up. And interlace the fingers, face your palms toward the ceiling. Exhale, turn toward the left side. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, turning from the waist up. We're twisting. And inhale, center. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms up again. Interlace with the other pinky in front. Face your palms to the ceiling. And exhale, twisting to the right side. So as you inhale, sit up nice and tall. And as you exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, fingertips forward. And either stay sitting up or walk yourself forward, whatever gives you a good hip stretch. So I just got my green drink delivery this morning from Chef V, and it's so yummy. I just had to mention it. Roll forward. It makes me like Mondays. And extend the legs back. Start to bend one knee and the other because it comes Sunday night, and then Monday morning it's right there for me, and it makes me happy. It's really, really healthy, and it tastes good too. Anyway, bend one knee and the other, bicycle the legs. I'll put the info below if you're interested. Okay. Ears and arms in line. Inhale and float the right leg back and up. Exhale, bring it through, shoulders over wrists, knee toward the nose a little bit, but look forward. And step it in between the hands, coming into a warrior two pose. Make sure your knee is over your ankle and your knee points over your second toe. Press your back thigh straight back. Inhale, reverse your warrior, nice side stretch. Exhale to rebend through the front knee. Inhale, coming up, and exhale, windmill the arms down through chaturanga. Shoulders no lower than elbows. Inhale, press through your hands and feet. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, floating the left leg back and up. Exhale, shoulders over wrists. Draw the leg in toward the belly. Lightly step it in the middle of the hands and inhale for warrior two. Stretch out through the arms. Gaze over your fingertips, lifting your low belly in and up, knee over ankle in line with the second toe. Reverse, right arm down, left arm reaches up. It's a side stretch, it's not a back bend. Inhale, center, exhale, stepping back, chaturanga. Inhale, pressing up. Exhale, down dog. Lengthening back, keeping your breath nice and steady. Right leg up, inhale and exhale. Step it through. Back foot is flat, back into warrior two on the inhale. Your front heel lines up with your back arch here. Gazing over the fingertips, drop the left arm, reverse, bend the right knee, exhale. It's a great way to open the hips. Inhale, come up, exhale, lean forward, right forearm to right thigh, left arm up and over. Press the forearm down gently, open the chest or belly toward the ceiling, or you can take your right hand down to the floor or hold the ankle. Inhale, back to warrior two. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, pressing up. Exhale, back into down dog. Left leg floats up on the inhale. Exhale, bring it through. Back foot is flat, come to warrior two. Knee over the ankle, drop the front hip down. Front heel lines up with the back arch again. Drop the right arm, reverse. Exhale, rebend into the left knee. Make sure it doesn't go past the ankle though. Coming back up, inhale, lean forward, get a little length. Left forearm to left thigh, right arm up and over. Press lightly on the forearm, open up the chest toward the ceiling, or you can take the left hand down, still trying to get some space from the left hip through the left armpit. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Exhale, step back to plank, then lower down, hug your elbows in. Inhale, roll your shoulder heads back, and exhale back into downward facing dog. Right leg up again, inhale, step it through. This time walk your hands and walk your feet to parallel, folding into Prasarita Padottanasana A. Squeeze outer hips and inner thighs. Toes will point in a little bit toward each other. Inhale halfway up. Keep your right hand down. Exhale the left hand up. Either stay with that or right hand over to left leg for a deeper twist. But try to drop your left hip down. Inhale, lengthen. Left hand middle of the mat. Reach, exhale, right arm up. Twist it. Either stay there or take your left hand to the right foot. Try and drop the right hip down if you can, lifting the left hip up. And then center. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hands onto hips. And inhale, coming back, toes out, heels in. Bend the knees. Drop your tailbone down. Lift your frontal hip points up. Knee in line with second toe. Reach up through the arms. Keep dropping the tailbone, lifting your hip points up. Drop down a little more if you can. Then arms to a T, right arm over left arm for Garudasana, eagle arms. Lift your elbows up, reach your hands away from your face. You can also just hug your shoulders for that one. Now switch sides. Left arm over right. Shoulder blades are moving away from each other. Upper back is getting a nice stretch. Release, inhale, arms up, exhale, bend the front knee and step back through chaturanga. Inhaling up, exhaling back. Inhale, left foot back and up, step it between the hands, spin the back heel flat, walk your hands to the right, parallel the feet. Lengthen on the inhale. And exhale again to Prasarita Padottanasana A. Shift your weight slightly forward so your hips are over your heels. Keep drawing your belly in and up. Inhale halfway up. And another twist. Left hand to the center of the mat, right hand to center, left arm up. Either stay or a little bit deeper. Right hand to left foot. Pulling back on the left hip and dropping down on the right hip. Get back to center, left hand will come to the center, right arm coming up, and you can stay there, or left hand to right ankle or leg. And release back down. Halfway up, inhale, exhale there. Come on up on the inhale, toes out, heels in. Drop down into a high squat. Dropping the tailbone, press the knees back. Inhale, arms reach straight up. Exhale, bend your right elbow, take your left hand on top of the elbow. Stay with that, or take your left hand behind you. Clasping hands or holding onto your shirt. Roll your left shoulder back and spin your right tricep in toward your face. Keep dropping down through the hips, lifting your hip points. Both arms up, inhale. Exhale, the left hand behind right arm on top of the elbow, or right arm behind your back. Interlacing fingers or hooking however you can, or the shirt. Roll the right shoulder back, spin the left tricep in as your elbow on the left side points straight up. Both arms up, slowly straightening the legs. Turn the left leg out, back toes in, heel to arch. Exhale, windmill the arms down through chaturanga, through plank, and then lower down where your left hand was, left forearm, right hand, right elbow, plank in dolphin, and then pressing back up to regular plank. And just warming up and using those core muscles. Exhale back to dolphin plank. Do the other hand first if you can. Crown of the head's reaching forward. Don't let your head drop. Lift the backs of your knees up. Press back up into plank. If you need to take the knees down, just take them down. No worries. Downward dog. Right leg up. Inhale. Exhale. Bring it through for pigeon. Now, if pigeon doesn't feel good, you will swing the back leg around, take the right ankle above the left knee for thread the needle or another hip stretch that you like. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come forward. Ideally, we want the hips level, so if you're rolling off to your right hip, it would be great to put a pillow underneath that. So push pause, go grab a pillow if you need one. Reach back through your back foot, the back leg, all the toes pressed down. And if it's too much to lay all the way forward, then stay up. Coming up and reaching for the back foot, maybe hold it back there or draw the heel in toward the glute and square up the hips and shoulders to the front of your mat. So heel is moving toward the hip. Release it down and stretch that right leg up and then set it down. Left leg, inhale. Exhale, pigeon. Either stay with that or swing the back leg around for thread the needle or another hip stretch that you know and like. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, either stay up or lower down. So even if you didn't have pain in the knee on the right side, but you have it on the left side, you still want to take the alternative pose, thread the needle or another hip opener that doesn't hurt your knee. We want to be real gentle with our knees. And inhale to come up and reach back for the foot or not. Doesn't reach, don't worry. If you have the foot and you want to take it deeper, take the heel toward the hip, square off hips and shoulders to the front of the mat, so pulling your left shoulder and hip back. And then releasing. Left leg up, stretch it out. Exhale, lower it. Step or hop through to seated. Just going to cradle the right leg or forklift it. So either way. Elbows around the knee. You can also bend your left knee there. So if that's too intense of a hip stretch, bend your left knee and keep that foot onto the floor and you'll stay there. We're going to go in some stages. It gets deeper and deeper. Please stop where it's appropriate for you. Next up, the right leg toward the shoulder and extending it out into sundial pose. That might not be appropriate of a stretch. If not, stay with the one before it. Next step, we'll hook the knee over the shoulder and pick up into elephant trunk. So try to squeeze the leg and then maybe into Ashtavakrasana, the left ankle on top of the right ankle. Squeeze the legs on the arm, look toward the feet. Boom. Land on your bum or your asana. And then the other way you can do it is you bring the right knee over the shoulder, cross over the ankle, squeeze the legs as you lean forward and let your elbows bend like chaturanga elbows. Okay? Push the pause button if you want to practice. Or left side. Cradle the leg or take the forklift. You can always bend the right knee, putting the right foot onto the floor for a variation on this one. You can stay with that too with the bent knee. So taking the right hand to the pinky toe side of the left foot and extending the leg out for our sundial, opening the chest. I think this one might be called Yantrasana. I can't remember exactly though. It's a good stretch for the hip. And then take your left knee or back of the knee on top of the shoulder, pick up, squeeze the leg on the shoulder. Pick up anything at all. Then right ankle on top of the left ankle. Extend the legs out to the side as you lean forward, chaturanga arms. And just set yourself down. One more time. Left knee, back of the knee on top of the shoulder. Try to press that leg down. And it doesn't have to go all the way to the shoulder. You can put it on the arm. Right ankle above left knee. Reach the arms out to the side. Try to squeeze that arm like crazy. And then bending the elbows like chaturanga elbows. Hug your elbows in towards your sides. And setting down. Oh, hug the knees in. Rock a little side to side. Take a couple breaths. Press the pause button if you want to practice. Otherwise, setting up for bridge. Feet hips width. Press up into bridge pose. Make sure the outer edges of your feet stay parallel. Spiral your thighs in toward each other like you're holding a block. Chins away from chest and lower down. And again, press onto the heels, lift up into bridge. elbows press down. You can point the fingertips up or rolling the shoulders, interlace the fingers. Other interlace if you can, other pinky on top. Lower down. Knees knock in toward each other as you rest. So do the same thing, or take your hands up by your ears, come to the crown of the head, line up wrists and elbows, straighten out the arms for wheel pose. Make sure your elbows stayed parallel so that you're still getting a nice external rotation of the arm and the shoulder socket. You may not know what that means, but trust me, it's good. Chin to chest, lower down, hug the knees in. Rock gently side to side. And then roll up, take a couple of rocks. Roll up to seated. Extend the legs out. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, hinge from the hips forward. Inhale to lengthen, nice long spine. Stay with that, or exhale forward, belly to thighs. You can round a little bit. Inhale your head up and exhale to release. Lie down, hug your knees in. Keep the right knee hugging in, extend the left leg out, and then take your right knee over to the left side for a twist. Look over the right shoulder as long as it doesn't bother your neck. Back to center, draw the knees in. Now keep the left knee in, extending the right leg out and take it over to the right side. Twist and look over the left shoulder if you like. Come to center, draw the knees into the chest. And then extend the legs out and find your Shavasana. Just let everything release, rest, let it all go. Release your Ujjayi breathing, just natural breathing here. And sink into the floor. Today's quote, as you're resting a little longer, comes to us from Mother Teresa. She says, "Joy is very infectious. We will never know just how much good a simple smile can do. Be faithful in little things. Smile at one another. We must live beautifully." Start to make some movements in your fingers and your toes, hands and feet, arms and legs. Stretch overhead. Nice long good morning stretch, and then bend the knees. Roll off to your right side. Pause to come back to your intention and honor whatever intention you set. And slowly press up to seated, bringing the hands together in Anjali Mudra, mudra of reverence in front of the heart. Hands to our forehead, reminding us to have clear and loving thoughts. Hands to our heart center, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. And hands to our mouth to remind us to have clear and loving communications, sending out all this wonderful energy we created to all beings everywhere. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me on your mat today. I hope you feel really good. If you like it, please press the like button and share and comments. And all those things really help us to spread the word about free yoga. And if you can afford to, a donation is really helpful for us to continue to offer free yoga. And there's a link right below if you would like to donate. And email me. My email is below with questions about teacher training or about retreats. And thank you very much.
Welcome back. In our last segment, we have with us Dr. Julio from BizSkin, who's going to tell us more about the importance of vitamin D in every person's life. Have a look at this.
Welcome to Wellness Wednesdays, where I teach you how to live a healthier lifestyle. I'm Dr. Julio, and today I want to talk to you about a very important vitamin that many of us are deficient in, vitamin D. Vitamin D is an essential nutrient for healthy living. It helps maintain strong bones by helping the body absorb calcium from food. Muscles need vitamin D to move. Nerves need it to carry messages from the brain, and the immune system requires vitamin D to fight against harmful bacteria and viruses. A deficiency of vitamin D can put you at an increased risk for osteoporosis, joint and back pain, muscle pain, migraines, allergies, and even autoimmune diseases like lupus. In addition, studies show that even suboptimal levels of vitamin D will double your risk of heart attack and triple your risk of multiple sclerosis. As important as this vitamin is, you may be wondering where to get it. One of the best natural sources is sunlight. Our bodies will make vitamin D when skin is exposed to sunlight. Sounds easy enough, except for there's a huge caveat. Our skin only produces vitamin D when directly exposed to sunlight. Skin exposed to sunshine through a window will not produce vitamin D. Furthermore, sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher blocks 100% of vitamin D production in the skin. I know, I've stressed many times before in previous videos the importance of sunscreen to help prevent premature aging and to protect us against skin cancer. However, all this protection is depleting our essential vitamin D production. Fortunately, there are good sources of vitamin D also found in food. There are too many to list here, so please check out our Facebook page where I will post a short article on food sources of vitamin D. By now you must be wondering, how much vitamin D is enough, and how do I know if I am deficient? A simple blood test will tell us how much vitamin D you have. These findings will allow us to determine the adequate supplementation you need to maintain healthy levels. See, this is not a one-size-fits-all formula. This customized treatment is individualized for each person. It requires testing and adequate supplementation of not just vitamin D, but also calcium and magnesium. I can give you some basic information here, but this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the complex interactions of this essential vitamin. Knowing how much you need and how to get it according to your unique lifestyle and diet is a job for the professionals here at Biscayne Wellness Center. Our wellness team can evaluate your levels and put a customized plan together for you. Pick up the phone, call the number on your screen right now. Mention you saw this video and we will give you a free 1-hour consultation with our health coach. Congratulations, you are well on your way to living a healthier lifestyle. I'm Dr. Julio, and remember to turn your illness into wellness.
So I hope with that video all of you got a basic idea of the value of vitamin D in every person's life. And with that we have come to the end of today's episode. Hope you all had a wonderful time. Remember, follow your bliss, live your passion. Goodbye and be well.
از او بعد که آروس خانه آمد که آلدی امی طفلش دیگه گفت خرابه طفل اگم شور نمیخوره آلیه گفتم شرم است که می آروس دیگه چی ببریم در شفاخانه یادم اون رواج نداریم
ما مردم علاقه زیاد داریم در ملا زیاد داریم که از دکتر که نمیگوییم با پیش ملا بریم تالی زیر باز کنیم باز بعد از تالی بسیاری همین خوشما اجازه نمیده که بره ایوان چی میکنی قدر زود در ملا دکتر ما این تلویزیونی میگه نقص داره کدام رقم برق داره در اشتکان نقص میکنه باز خوب نیست پیش دکتر نمیبره آرسایشانه چند علاقه نداره بسیار دراجیان که مشکل زیاد چه که بیخی از باین بره اگه ما دا دکتر ببریم
باید همین مردم ها برای جانی وقتی که یامیله شه گلابری در 6 ماه باید دیره ببره در 3 ماه ببره یک دفعه نظری دکتر بگی راسته کجه خوبه کوره شاله پرده چیه
که از باین رفت